Hello guys, this is Ratu498 and this is a 2v2 commentary battle on Shogun 2 Total War. I live recorded this, so I hope you enjoy. Basically I posted it just because of the fact that there's been a lot of talk about whether or not you put your cavalry into the triangle, the wedge formation, and then charge some spears, whether or not they'll actually break through. So that's a bit later on, so I thought I'd show you that. So my build in this, I've got 3 Naginata warrior monks, I've got 5 lone sword, I've got 3 Yari Ashigaru, I've got a Yari samurai guy, and I've got 4 monk cav, and obviously my avatar. So I'm all pretty in pink, as I promised I would be. All my units for my bow build, I've changed all them to pink, but my flags are all pink, so as I promised before, I am now all pink. So basically I've grouped my units up. I've got my one of my Yari units in front in a skirmish kind of mode, so he's going to take all the shots from these guys. These guys are kind of camping it up a little bit, but it's going to be a case of basically I'm just going to rush. Termi's just turned around and said to me basically that they're going to camp it, and I don't really see how it matters, because in fact neither me or Termi really have any kind of skirmish units at all. Termi's got a couple of bow samurai, but that's not really anything that you could call a skirmish army, so, and I've got nothing at all. So it's still just going to be a rush on them, which I'm finding a lot more effective than these bow builds, because I've got 3 warrior monk bows with my other build, and they cost sort of like 1200 each, and for that price I could get something which is a lot more effective, in all honesty. I could especially, I mean even the matchlocks, they're good at the old morale shocks and stuff like that, and they're good against some cav, but as far as it goes, it gets countered so easily. Realistically, in my opinion, you're looking to get as many decent infantry units as possible, just to get in there and give them hell basically. So my cav are going around the outside. I'll try and get more in this forest. I was planning to try and walk them up and try and get them from behind, but I get so impatient in pretty much every game I play that I just want to get involved with it. So I move them up, then I start walking them through, so they're walking hidden, and then I get bored of doing that, so I just decide to full out attack in a second. But I was just having a quick look through my opponent's build. He's got quite a few skirmish units, matchlocks, warrior monk bows. So he's got a few of them. I'm not concerned about them at all. When I see them, it doesn't worry me in the slightest. I know you can get rid of them so easily. Things that concern me when I'm looking, the Naginata, if I say that right, I do, warrior monks, Great Guard, things like that concern me. Even lone swords don't really concern me unless there's a huge amount of them. So nothing in this army has actually concerned me, to say that I can't just literally run straight up and attack it. As you can see now, he's done the old kind of box. He's left his rear open, which means if I wanted to take my time I could get my cav around the back and attack him there, but I really didn't want to take my time. So I'm just going to push everything forward. I'm now going to select my units quite a distance away to whom they're going to be attacking. And if you do that a distance away, it gives you a few options. It's easier to counter any kind of moves that they do, as you've already selected who you want to attack. So if you need to change that, you can change that pretty easy. So I always do that a little distance away. I also select my monk units to attack the furthest unit away, because then they're going to run through. So when you eventually use your war cry, it's going to affect every unit in their army, which is kind of what you're looking to do. You're looking to try and affect as many units as possible with your special abilities. So as you can see now, I managed to walk right the way up the side. I do get severely bored, so I'm going to change him into wedge, and then I'm going to charge him through in a second. So these guys are all just going to rush in, just very standard, just going to go straight in at it. I've got my meat shield in front. My meat shield takes quite a few hits, but that's all. It's just my meat shield. I've actually called him meat shield, I believe. So, but that's pretty much as simple as it gets. Termi's around my opponent's flank. Termi is a pretty standard build, 4 or 5 lone swords, a few katana, a couple of Great Guard, a couple of monk cav, about 4 cheap Yari. So that's it. So now as you can see, all my guys are in, all my cav are in wedge formation, and they're going to try and bust a hole through. So I've got these two guys going in here, and they're going to try and bust a hole through. As you can see, I'm just going to constantly keep clicking on the unit behind when they're engaged, so they're going to constantly get through. And here as well, the same. As you can see, they stop, but if you keep ordering them and keep ordering them and keep ordering them, they will get through. Yeah, you lose quite a few men, and you do. But against a build like this and a tactic like this, it's really kind of, you have to accept a few losses to get it done. So get my cav through. I should have changed them out of wedge, which is something I didn't do. So, but I should have changed them out of wedge, but I didn't. So now my cav are inside their little box. When you're doing something like this, don't use your Yari or your Great Guard so much. Try and use Katana or your Monk cav, simply because they're a lot better in just standard melee. So you can, once you're in there, there's no chance of getting any charge bonuses. It's, you know, so having your Yari around and your Great Guard around isn't as advantageous to you as having something like your Monk cav or your Katana, because they're going to do a lot more damage to these infantry units in just a standard melee. So as you can see now, Termi's got his cav coming in behind. And these cav units are Termi's, just going for his skirmish units. This is his opponent's skirmish units. I had all Termi's opponents' bows and a couple of their matchlocks firing in on me as well, which is why my left flank at the top of the screen is looking a little bit worse for wear. I bring my general back down, constantly moraling, constantly stand and fight. Lots of people say as soon as you go into melee, use your stand and fight. You can, it's really a preference to what you prefer. I normally tend to do it a little bit later, as at the beginning of the battle things can change so quickly, and as you see I had to move my general forward. Would have taken too long if I wasn't stand and fight. So when I see things are going not so well, or everyone's engaged and my general's pretty close, then I'll use my stand and fight. If I do it any earlier than that, I tend to find my general does sometimes lag a little bit behind. So I changed a couple of units over. As you can see, it's just basically selecting each unit and targeting. My cav units got pretty much screwed over because there were so many spears. But I was just showing basically how it is possible just to break straight through, and you can. What I should have done was change out my wedge, and I should have then gone into just a normal square or line, or however you want to use your cav, just so then that all your men in your unit are being engaged at the same time with the enemy units. So I've defeated my opponent now. My guy's dead, apart from one lone sword at the top. So I'm going to move on to Termi's opponent. As you can see now, he's got on his opponent's flank, so he's now working up there. And it's going to be no time at all now until these guys are out of the way. There's really nothing left there for them to fight us off with. It's a few skirmish units, there's nothing. I believe there's one lone sword at the bottom, which Termi's cav are involved in at the moment. But really there's nothing there to be worried about at all, so it's just basically a case now of just running in and finishing off. It was a good game to my opponents, both 10-star players. As I say, I don't like posting anything on here with low-star players unless it's really interesting. The next Shogun game I've got coming up is one against BW. It was a bit of fun. I'm not basically it's the first cav spam on this game which I've seen win. Really, really good. It was. I'm not sure how he managed to do it, but I'll show you the replay of that anyway. I'll concentrate on that, and that was really shocked us all. Even the BW guys were like, "How the hell did he manage to do that?" So that was really interesting. But as you can see here, this game's over. So thank you all for watching. Please rate, comment and subscribe. Also check out Terminator's channel, who's my teammate. He's in my other channels list at the bottom. So I've got a game of Napoleon coming up as well, which is also a cav spam game, but it's where me and Ash from Huntsman do a little cav spam, so that will be up probably tomorrow. So thank you very much guys, and as you can see now we're just finishing off the last of their units. For some reason it took a little bit longer than I thought, but as you can see it's all done now. So I'll leave you with the scoreboard, the final results, and thank you very much. Bye bye.